dropped that game with Washington, which was our first loss of the season. But a keynote that we were the last unbeaten team in the country in Division One at that point. So credit for the groups put together. To lose your first game in the middle of October, obviously you're doing some things really well. And I thought our team rebounded really well on Thursday with that Wisconsin match, as we had came back on a red eye. They're right back into class an hour after we arrived back on campus that Monday, and able to get their legs back and be focused and prepared and go get a result against what will be an NCAA tournament team in Wisconsin was great. And then to be able to find a way. Northwestern sat in a low block a lot of the time, second half, which we've seen a lot more this year. So to be able to break that down, find the key goal is great. And to have Bella and Jira kind of rounded back into attacking form, scoring goals again, is going to be a key component for us if we're going to make a run in this Big Ten tournament or beyond.
Hey, you mentioned her name right there, Bella Najera. How crucial will getting her offense going be to you guys having a good postseason run that you want?
Yeah, it's big. Bella's obviously a quality attacking player and very good in front of goal. Had another chance even in the first half on Sunday. When she can score again, you look at our stat sheet, we don't have one kid that's just our clear goal scorer, which is great. It's difficult to scout against, but we need all of our attacking players to have a little bit more statistical input or output. And so, she's great. As a young player, she's one of the kids that our team looks to and turns to. She's always shown up in really big moments and tough matches. She did it again this week with both goals. And she brings some of that real passion to the game. So she has good flair that kind of can lift the spirit of the team too when she's in front of goal and doing well.
Jeff, we talked before the season about being hunted now, how different that might be now that it's played out a little bit. Have you felt that a little? The teams got gear up for Michigan State more than normal?
Well, look, there were 5 teams eliminated from Big Ten tournament contention going into Sunday afternoon's contest. Only one opponent sat in a low block to try and still get a result, and that was Northwestern on Sunday. Everybody else was big shape, free flowing. Let's just go see what we got. Those became very lopsided margins. There's no question. At Oregon 2 weeks ago on a Thursday, in a draw that. We had all of the territory, all of the chances. You had players borderline rushing the field from the stands, to get for that result in the draw. Michigan was incredible when they were here. Obviously that's the game. We had an incredible crowd and got the result. Michigan played as well as they have all year on the day. So we definitely have felt that and saw that. I know a lot of coaches kind of talk about that with your opponents you see. But we've gotten that feedback from other coaches across the country, conference and country that, it's pretty clear the game plan is very specific for us, and teams will look very different going into those matches. So it's a sign of respect to what we're doing. But that's what it is. You got to beat all the best, playing the best to be the best.
The other thing is, for the men and the women, the high number of ties the last couple of years, I don't know if that's an aberration. Could there be anything done, or would you endorse anything to settle tie games?
Yeah, a lot more draws. This is the second year where we've eliminated overtime during the regular season. So in the past, we played up to an additional 20 minutes. That's been eliminated to help with player safety, to try and bring down the number of catastrophic injuries in particular as you go through the course of the season. So as a sport, we've taken some better strides. This week we had a week-long extension waiver so we could decompress the games by 1 week a little bit, so you have more single game weeks to make it easier on bodies. We have the same thing that's been approved for next year. We have a modernization proposal in front of the NCAA right now that would allow us effectively 2 more weeks in preseason plus this extra week to kind of stretch things out throughout the course of the season. I don't think there's going to be any clamoring for a change to affect the draw piece because we are looking at the player safety first. And it's a lot. When you're in a Thursday, Sunday setup for us, it's really hard for them to turn around on a Sunday and get ready to go. So if you added an overtime element to that, it'd be really challenging. And in terms of the spirit of the sport, we don't want to go straight to BKs or something when we're coming off a 90-minute match.
have you seen her really turn a corner down the stretch here of the regular season as we gear up for postseason play?
Yeah, Jordan's been in great form the last few weeks. You know, she's finally 100% healthy. She's finally game fit. You know, she had injury in the spring that really delayed all of that through the course of the summer, and it's really started to hit her stride. So again, another attacking piece that can create opportunities, and like her leadership from a like experience standpoint. She's been in a lot of big games. We know we can trust her to hold up play a little bit when we're in some game pressure. Our teams are a little bit more aggressive in their press. You know, having her back on the field to be able to do that obviously gives us a lot more comfort in certain situations.
Jeff, do you have a sense of what you need to do to get the seeding in the NCAA tournament that you want to host matches? Like what needs to be done, obviously looking next week, but then even the Big Ten tournament?
Yeah, so like as we look at this week and seeding implications, for the Big Ten tournament, we can finish as high, well, for the regular season, we can finish as high as 4th, no worse than 6th. So what that's done is secure a first round bye for us to play on that Saturday, November 2nd. Obviously, depending on our result, others, we'll see where dust will settle. You know, the RPI is a tricky thing, but the RPI is not the only thing that the committee looks at. This week, they announced the committee's top 16. So prior to any results for us Thursday or Sunday, and we came in at number 10 overall seed, which would be a 3 seed in the NCAA tournament. Sunday, we win the game, but drop 2 points in the RPI. Like, it's just so fickle with how results go on a given day. So we're right in contention for one of those, you know, for us, I don't think a 1 seed is possible unless we had an incredible strength of schedule in the Big Ten tournament and won those games, like as a true win as opposed to PKs. Could be possible, long shot. I think really what we're pushing for is to be able to that 2 spot, because if you're 1 or 2, that sets you up to be able to host the first, second, and third rounds. Whereas if you're a 3 seed, you go on the road to that 2 seed. So we're right in the hunt for it. And obviously the Big Ten tournament's gonna have a lot to say for that.
Did I understand you correctly? You already sent your home game, or you still have to do that?
So the Big Ten tournament this year has a new format with 10 teams in it. The first and second rounds are at the University of Minnesota on the 31st and the 2nd. And then the semifinals and finals are now going to be at City Park in St. Louis.
So you'll have a home game on the 2nd?
No, it'll be at Minnesota.
Oh.
University of
I
Minnesota.
misunderstood.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else? All right, thank you.
Okay, thanks.